Guys and gals, we are back again for another edition of the Truman Lake Fishing Intel Roundtable. It is mid-September. We just had a great dinner thanks to Nini's Italian Steakhouse and Catering. Fantastic food tonight. You can find them down in Warsaw, Missouri. And if you are a member of the website, go in there, show them your account page, and you can get a free appetizer. Big thank you to them. Check them out. We want to thank Anglers Port Marine for helping to make these videos possible every single month. Anglers Port Marine for your Phoenix, Camus, and low boat lines. Tons of people going to Anglers Port Marine. They just recently announced a new incentive for the Anglers in Action Tournament Trail next year. They're going to add, if you win one of the Anglers in Action events, Anglers Port is going to match the $10,000 first place prize. So you get $10,000 for winning an Anglers in Action event. Anglers Port is going to kick in another $10,000
if you're in their boat.
If you're in their boat, and it's got to be 2 years or newer.
Yep.
And if you're fishing out of a Phoenix, there's incentive money with a lot of the brands, but
some of the incentive money equal more than the payout of the tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, extremely. So big thanks to Anglers Port Marine. Check them out. A lot of the Truman Lake Fishing Intel guys are fishing out of a boat from Anglers Port Marine. Great folks down there. They'll take care of you. Like I said, we're here in mid-September. I am joined by a great crew tonight. We have the Bowling Boys and Uncle Jeff. We got Hunter Bowling on my far left. Richard Bowling, the crappie king, as we all know. Jeff Faulkenberry. And special guest tonight, hopefully more to come in the future, Sean Bowling, who also helps dear old dad out on Truman Lake. But Sean also gets into some bass fishing as well with Darren Langford. Darren Langford was going to be here tonight, but he's got to do some practicing for the Toyota Series coming up later this week. David Ryan is out practicing for the Toyota Series. This is perhaps the biggest tournament coming to Truman in the last couple of decades.
A lot of years, yes.
Going to be major TV coverage. A lot of video going on, some pretty big names from across the country that'll be fishing Truman Lake. We're really hoping to see a couple of our Truman Lake Fishing Intel guys make it to day 3. The way it works, you have your first 2 days, you got to qualify, and then they take top 25 on day 3, I believe.
Yep.
And so we're really pulling for those guys and some of the locals here to show all those pros that are traveling all over how it's done here on Truman Lake. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk bass fishing. We're going to talk crappie fishing, catfishing, tips and tricks, and we're kind of coming into that fall transition. So we're going to go into that. We've had some questions come in about, what are these crappie going to start doing as the water temperature starts dropping? We're seeing those 80-degree daytime temperatures, and all of a sudden those low 60s, 50-degree nighttime temperatures here in the last 4 or 5 days. I think we got another warm-up coming, though.
It's supposed to be 92 the first of the next week.
We got deer season coming up on Thursday. We got a lot to talk about. So stay tuned. For all of you that are watching this right now, that are seeing this on YouTube, on Facebook, just out on the interwebs, this whole video is going to be about an hour, hour and a half long. We do this every single month where we get together with the guys and we just talk fishing and tell stories about Truman Lake. And a lot of our members think this is their favorite part about what we do. A lot of knowledge gets shared, and it's a really good time. So if you are not a member already, go check out TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com, sign up to be a member, and you will get access to every single Truman Lake Roundtable that we've ever done in the last 2.5 years. There's a lot of them, and they're really great. So with that, let's start to talk some fishing. Jeff, we'll start with you with the catfish because I think we're going to spend most of the time on crappie and bass tonight. You've been chasing some catfish here in the last week. It has been okay. Has it been good? What's kind of the general storyline here?
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm not great,
yeah,
but it's been good. Definitely worth going. The lake is set at a certain level for a long time, and a lot of times, and I know these guys will agree, we usually talk about consistency is key. On this lake being a flood control impoundment, it adds variables aside from Mother Nature, whether it be lake level, water coming in, water going out, whatever. And we've set it at this 704.5 range for a long time now. And, you can still catch a lot of fish with the lake being low. Of course, we talk about when it gets real high in a flood. all the fish spread out. When it gets real low, it condenses things, and that's what it's done to the catfish essentially. They're not really cruising out a whole lot. They're hanging in these ditches and on structure. The water temperature's starting to fall. The quality of the fish is good. The numbers is okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of good quality fish.
Yeah.
I had a trip out this morning. We had 3 overs just real quick. We had some slot fish that were just right there being over. But what we noticed today was the fish are starting to get that fall feeling. Those post-spawn soared up males that are real skinny and fins are all beat up. We're not seeing that now. We're starting to see these fish where their heads and their bodies start to match and they get real round and chunky and beefy and they pull you over string. I mean, we had 3 fish today, all over 20 pounds, and I mean they just like to flat wore these guys out, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, you've been over in the Tebow, you've been in the Grand, you fished shallow water, you fished some deeper water. Is there a particular pattern that seems to be honing in on if you want to go catch some fish? That's kind of, I know you said numbers is kind of a struggle right now, but if folks are looking for that, is there a particular pattern that you've seen that lines up better for that?
Well, it's all about chasing bait right now, and the bait's moving around just like every other fish. But the bait is all condensing, whether it be if on a windy day, which we hadn't had any wind until recently. Mm-hmm. Last week it was just flat every day, just flat, and that's not good. If you're a noodle fisherman, it's really good. Those fish come to the surface, you see shad and gar, buffalo and carp, and everything's up on the top, and you can set those noodles a foot deep and just wear them slick. But for rod and reel fishing, we were dragging baits all last week. We caught some of our biggest fish dragging baits and covering water, or drifting, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I've been on the lower Osage. I've been on the lower Tebow. I've been on the upper Grand and the lower Grand, all within the last 2-week period.
Yeah.
And you can catch fish everywhere, but some places you catch bigger fish and not as many, and other places, the guys are catching a lot of fish on the lower lake, but they're all, guide fish, little eaters that people come. I mean, they're good eating fish, but if you want to catch a big one, you're probably not, when you're in those fish, you're probably not going to get a good one in there.
Yeah. Is finding bait,
It's everywhere.
Okay.
It's stupid. The amount of shad in this lake it's what makes it what it is.
Yeah. I know we talk about a lot, like Bucksaw most of the days, you can go put your boat in and just putz right by the marina, see bait everywhere, catch your bait that you need.
It's all over. I mean, it's in every arm. And it's funny because sometimes of the year we'll go to places and we'll be like,